Hello guys, welcome back. I'm Master Chillable, and today we're going to be playing some of The Last of Us, but I'm not going to be commentating in-game with The Last of Us. That will be happening later on. I'll be bringing you actually, live Last of Us gameplay with in-game commentary and stuff like that. But today I'm bringing you tips and tricks that I think you need to know and are very important in The Last of Us multiplayer. The first tip, I can't believe how many people I see. Don't be a hero is the first tip. Just don't be a hero. If you know that half of your team got wiped out by say 3 guys on the enemy team, don't rush in trying to kill everyone and save your teammates, because chances are it's not going to be in your favor, and it isn't really going to be in your favor. Now, this is more of a trick instead of a tip, but it can also be a tip. Is usually I always use convert training level 2. I think every class in this game should have convert training level 2, just so that when you're crouch walking, you're not detectable on enemy listening mode. As you can see, I can see almost all the enemy team with listen mode, and that's telling me that they're not using convert training level 2. And by using convert training level 2, they can't see me on listening mode unless I'm, running or walking or whatever. And it's just a very good, useful perk. It gives you a huge advantage over the team, the enemy team as well. So you guys really should use that perk to your advantage. It's absolutely a very good perk. It gives you the factor of stealth. It gives you just a huge advantage over enemy team. Usually, here's another thing. Here's another tip. Tip number 2: stay as a group. If you're more separate, the enemy, especially if you're not using convert training level 2, you can very easily be killed one by one. And so if you're in a group, I would normally travel with a group of 2, but not really more than that, because if you travel all as 4 and you're not kind of being stealthy, you can be spotted a little bit more easily. So I usually go with 2 people. Tip number 3 is teamwork and team communication. Team communication is very important. These guys, I had no idea, because I wasn't playing with them. I was playing with them, but they're not my friends. I was not in game chat now, and so I had no way of communicating to them. And as you seen, that guy back there, he got 1 or 2 people down on the enemy team, and I only knew because of the minimap that there was 1 guy down. And so I'm like, okay, well, he's special executing the other guy. Well, we could have had another interrogation. We could have 2 more interrogations if I knew that there was 2 guys there. And so that's where the communication factor comes in. Communication will build your teamwork and team effort into something, and you can use this to your advantage. The enemy team, if they don't have communication, it is a very, very bad disadvantage to them, because you're working as a unit. You're able to shout out enemy positions. Even if you mark them, you can still say, hey, there's a guy up to the left, or I need assistance. It's just a huge factor to everything. Now, I normally roll in stealth. Whether or not you're using stealth or not, it's a crucial factor that you know what your teammates are, and whether they can get to you in time. And so never really roll solo unless you really want to. Another tip is if you get a plank of wood in the multiplayer and you have the components necessary to craft a melee upgraded bat or stick or whatever, immediately do that. It is a one-shot down. It's a very effective melee. And also, if you just have the regular stick, it disappears once you die. But if you have the melee upgraded stick, it doesn't disappear when you die. So it might take a good bit of things, to craft, but it is very worth it. There are a bunch of other things that I try to do when I'm in game like this. And I try to communicate as best as possible by marking enemies. And so, if you have the money to buy the perks in game, or just even one of the perks in game, I would recommend the damage marker. This is a trick that I learned because instead of having to mark an enemy, you can just shoot them and they'll be instantly marked. And this allows you to also have a really great understanding of where the enemy is. If you have one of the perk that allows them to be outlined when you mark them, like that guy is, he's outlined right there to the red. It will give you a huge advantage over the teammates, a huge advantage to your teammates, as well as a disadvantage to the enemy team, because you'll know what they'll be doing. So the damage marker perk I hugely recommend. Another thing, another tip slash trick I learned is very common. Learn the spawns. Learn the spawns and just learn it, because if you know the spawns and where the spawn points are, you can use that to your advantage. Also, use cover and buildings to your advantage.
Okay, got it.
Most of the time I'll go in private match, you know, I'll just wander around some of the maps, see what I can find, and see what kind of things I can come up with. It's just a really powerful technique if you know the spawn points and stuff. Now, this last tip slash trick is going to be kind of mean, but I agree with it a lot, and it's very good. Use teammate as bait. Now, don't be, you know, a complete douche about it, and, you know, don't let them get killed and then not revive them if there's like one guy you need to keep them down. But a really good tip and trick is to use them as bait, because if they go in, you know where the person is, and you can get some shots into them and, you know, kill them. And then you can revive your buddies. So, you know, it's a win-win situation for everybody. Sometimes it's not a win-win situation for everybody, but use teammates as bait. They will definitely come in handy when you need them the most. Now, in the end of this video, I used this emergency hospital, St. Peter's, in the map bus depot to my advantage, because once we found out where the box is, as you can see by the attack symbol, I knew that their attack box was in that building, and I knew that they were heavily guarding it, and that's why they're all here in the emergency hospital. So they were really trying to guard the lockbox as best as possible. Now later on in the video, they do actually get one crack into our box, and I'm going to show you why two of my tips and slash tricks work together combined really well, and how it actually saved our team from losing the game. So I just want to show you that. So let's get to the part here. I'm going to fast forward the video to the end, and I'm going to show you why my tips and tricks work. Alright guys, so I fast forward the clip, and this is why my tips and tricks works. I know to the left behind that there is a spawn point behind the big truck, and I knew the enemies were down below, and they can't see me because I'm crouch walking and have convert training level 2. If they did use listening mode, they probably would have saw me, and this plan wouldn't have worked. Now, the tip and trick I'm using right here is knowing the buildings. I'm using the top floor of this building because I know they're all on the bottom floor, and hopefully if I could communicate to my team, I would have told them, hey, can you draw some fire out there, and I'll see about if I can go in and unlock the box. Now, I didn't detect any movement downstairs again with listening mode, so I figured, you know what, I'll just head down and see how many cracks I can get. The other tip and trick I'll be using is the immediately upgraded melee stick. This comes in handy a lot. Now, there was a guy, unfortunately, right there. I tried getting a headshot, didn't get him with a headshot, but he was kind of confused a little bit for where I was, but I did manage to take him down, and the enemy was focused on attacking our box, thank God, and they weren't here, or else I would have probably went down. And as you see here, I started cracking the box, and after some time cracking, about say two-thirds of the way, I can see a couple enemy dots maybe trying to work their way over, but one that really caught my attention was in the top left-hand corner of the minimap, as I'm very close to cracking the box. It was too late, I couldn't get to the crack in time. He starts punching me, I whip out my baseball bat. One more punch and I would have been down, and fortunately my stick took him down and I was able to crack the box. Now, so that gave us the win by knowing the buildings, using convert train level 2, as well as knowing the spawn spots, and just a general overthing. As well as I used armor. Armor's not, going to prevent melee, but it's still a very good thing to have. So thanks guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and see you next time.